Welcome back to Growth Digger, the show where we unpack the ideas, tools, and shifts that help modern marketers work sharper, faster, and with way more intention. I'm Taran, your host, and today we're diving into something that's quietly transforming how teams operate behind the scenes. It sounds technical at first, maybe even a little intimidating, but when you really unpack it, it actually ends up making work a lot more human. We're talking about process automation, and more specifically, how automation is evolving, moving beyond rigid, rule based systems into something far more adaptive and intelligent. To help us break this down, I'm joined by Abeer Aulakh, Director of Marketing and Communications at DiGGrowth. Abeer has been working closely with businesses navigating this shift, so she brings a very practical, real world perspective. Abeer, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Taran. I'm really excited to talk about this because it's one of the biggest transformations happening in business technology right now. And most teams don't even realize how much it's already affecting them.
Let's start simple. When people hear the term process automation, it can feel vague or overly technical. In plain terms, what is process automation?
That's a great place to start. At its core, traditional process automation refers to using software to handle repetitive, structured tasks that humans have been doing manually for years. Think about things like data entry, form approvals, routing requests, generating reports, or triggering emails when a condition is met. These systems operate on predefined rules, essentially a series of if this happens, then do that instructions. They're really good at predictable, repeatable work where the steps don't change much.
So basically, like a robot following instructions step by step.
Exactly. It's like giving a robot a checklist and saying, follow this every single time. And for many tasks, that works really well. It saves time, reduces errors, and frees people from boring manual work. But the moment something unexpected happens, that's where traditional automation starts to struggle.
That's a great segue. What are the main limitations of traditional rule based automation?
The biggest limitation is rigidity. These systems rely on fixed rules that are defined upfront. They don't handle variability or ambiguity very well. If the inputs change, or if there's an exception that wasn't anticipated when the rule was written, the system either fails, stops, or needs manual intervention. Someone has to step in, update the logic, or override the process. In complex, fast moving business environments, that makes these systems brittle. They work perfectly until they don't.
So when something unpredictable happens, humans still have to jump in and fix it?
Exactly. And that means teams end up spending a lot of time reacting instead of innovating. They're constantly putting out fires rather than improving systems or focusing on higher value work.
That brings us to the big idea behind today's conversation. We hear this phrase a lot, moving beyond rules to reasoning. What does that actually mean?
This is where things get really exciting. Moving beyond rules to reasoning means automation is no longer just executing predefined instructions. Instead, it's combining those rules with reasoning capabilities powered by AI, machine learning, and cognitive technologies. These systems can understand context, learn from experience, and make informed decisions rather than blindly following a script.
That almost sounds like human thinking. Can computers really reason?
In a limited and structured sense, yes. They don't think or feel like humans do, but they can analyze patterns, interpret data, and adapt their behavior over time. Instead of being explicitly reprogrammed for every new scenario, they learn from historical data and outcomes, which allows them to handle variation much more effectively.
Can you break down how this kind of reasoning automation actually works under the hood?
Absolutely. Most reasoning based automation systems rely on a few key components working together. First, there's data analysis. These systems ingest both structured data, like numbers and fields in a database, and unstructured data, like emails, documents, or chat messages. Second is machine learning. The system looks for patterns in that data. What actions led to successful outcomes, what didn't work, and how decisions changed results. Over time, it adjusts its behavior based on what it learns. Third, there's natural language processing, or NLP. This allows systems to understand and interpret human language, reading emails, extracting intent from messages, or summarizing documents. And finally, there's decision logic, where AI models evaluate different options and choose the best course of action based on context, probability, and goals.
So instead of just following rules, the system is actually interpreting situations?
Exactly. And the more data it processes, the better it gets. Over time, these systems can adapt autonomously, learning from outcomes and optimizing future decisions. That's the essence of reasoning based automation,
Let's talk impact. What are the real business benefits of making this shift?
There are several big ones. First is greater efficiency. Processes move faster because fewer steps require human intervention. Decisions that once took hours or days can happen in real time. Second is improved accuracy. AI systems reduce human error and can handle complex or messy inputs more consistently than manual processes. Third is better decision support. These systems don't just execute tasks, they provide recommendations and insights that help teams make smarter choices. And finally, there's scalability. As the business grows, reasoning based automation can scale without needing a proportional increase in headcount.
So, businesses aren't just automating tasks, they're actually improving how processes work?